Mistake. Oh, okay, doesn't follow it up, but it's fine. EX low, Badstoned, showing the world why he is New England's premier Balrog. Let's go, Badstoned. Good.
Billy Badstoned Donatelli is one of the most dedicated individuals in the New England fighting game community, and his dedication is expressed in and outside of the game. In the game, Badstoned is a dedicated top-tier loyalist, and is so not only out of dedication to victory, but also out of dedication to the scene. However top-tier a character is rumored to be at the start of discourse about them, Badstoned will help your scene find out, the hard way, through first-hand demonstration. I know I found out when I first met his Street Fighter V Season 2 Balrog, which stayed strong until Season 3 Abigail, then Minot, then Season 5 G. Another thing that takes dedication is the pursuit of physical fitness. Seriously working out takes practice, performance, planning, training, execution, and optimization. And Badstoned has been perfecting that craft for years in fighting games. Through late Street Fighter IV, Street Fighter V, and now DBFZ, Badstoned has become familiar with the stream stage. So it's about time the people at home become familiar with Badstoned as he takes center stage here on Beyond Frame Data. Turn the beat back.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Haney, aka Scion, and we're back with another episode of Beyond Frame Data. Today, I'm joined with Billy Donatelli, aka Badstoned, aka William Donatelli, aka just Badstoned. What's going on, brother?
Not much.
How you
about
doing?
you?
Hey.
Pretty good.
Doing pretty good. So, before we get into all the games you played, everything you smashed, I just want to take it a little bit, from the past and talk to me a little bit about yourself. Who are you outside the FGC? And yeah, what do you do? What do you like to do? Talk to me.
Okay, that's a pretty good question, but I'd say outside of FGC, so if we're not talking fighting games, I still play a ton of different video games.
Cool.
Like too many genres to count. I just, I'm almost always playing a video game. If I'm not doing that, I play guitar a little bit. I've been trying to pick that up more recently.
Damn, okay.
And then I lift and go to school.
Awesome. So you are you're a gamer. So pretty much, because a lot of people who they'll play something competitively, they'll do something outside that, or but you are a gamer, straight up,
As much as I hate the term, yeah.
Well, I don't like the term either, but that's cool.
It gives me a gross feeling, but 100%, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. What got you into, how did you become a gamer? Is it something that ran in your family, or talk to me about the childhood experience, I guess?
So, I think my brother mainly got me into games. He was the one who had, he had the Super Nintendo, he had the N64, he had all the older stuff. So I was kind of brought up on that. Once the GameCube came out, that was my thing. So, I kind of took it upon myself to keep playing.
Yeah.
And then my family always had a rule that basically, if I wanted to play a video game, I couldn't do it until it was the weekend. If it was a school night, no video games whatsoever.
Really? You actually had? Did you always follow that rule though?
No.
Of course. Of course.
No, I made bargains.
Of course.
My parents divorced at one point, and then it was easier with my dad to get him to be like, okay, if you do 2 hours of homework, I'll let you play 20 minutes of video games.
Alright, cool.
Yes, doing my homework. That was the only time I did it.
Nice.
But so I think once I kind of got on my own, and once I hit 14, 15, they kind of didn't care.
Yeah, you couldn't control me at that point.
So at that point, I was just like, okay, I'm going all in. So since then, I've been playing a lot of stuff.
Everything under the sun, right? You don't have a particular genre that you feel like you tend to stick to, or?
No. Lately I'm into a lot of roguelikes. I feel like that's a big fad right now, and I'm all behind it. I love that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Something that you can just play over and over again and get better and better. I like character action games, so Bayonetta, for example.
Okay.
One of my favorite
Have played
games.
Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's usually
many times.
Okay, cool. Now, word has it that you worked at a pet hospital before?
Yep.
Is that true? Talk to me a little bit about that. You worked at a pet hospital. That's awesome.
So I worked at a pet hospital for I think 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's stressful because it was 12-hour days. You wake up at 6 a.m., work from 7 to 7. Usually you don't get out till 7:30, 8.
Really?
Someone leaves their dog there, or it's a tiring job. And my main issue with it was just that there's kind of nowhere to go. So like whenever you go to a pet hospital, the people who do everything with your pet besides the vet, they work super hard for basically minimum wage. And it's not like they're always in training to be a vet. A lot of the time they're just a vet tech.
It's just their job.
Tech. Yeah, because they love animals. It's a, it's a labor of love. And I did love it, but eventually I'm like, okay, I gotta go somewhere.
Makes sense.
So that's when I started doing the fitness stuff.
Okay. Talk to me exactly when did the fitness stuff happen? I feel like that's relative. I don't know.
So it was around the time, honestly, that I broke up with my ex, and I was like, I feel like that's a big thing for people who get to fitness. It's like if you get broken up with, you're like, fuck, man, like what do I do now?
Pop in any
I
DMX
gotta
track.
get big.
Yeah, you pop in your ex, gonna give it to you. The Billy montage happens. Transformation.
100%. So that's honestly, that's how I got into it. I woke up and I was just like, I want to feel better. I want to look better, as everyone does.
Yeah.
And I just got super into it. And as I did more and more of that, I expected to not really like it. I was like, okay, well, I have the willpower to get up and go to the gym, but I'm never gonna like it. And eventually I found out, well, actually, as lame as this sounds, like going to the gym is kind of like a video game. Well, also it's therapeutic, but it's kind of like a video game. Like you go, you try to beat your high score every time you go. You know, you put all this science behind it. There's nutrition behind it. There's all these little kind of micro changes you can make in your life to come to like this,
ultimate goal.
Yeah, an ultimate goal or like an optimal plan. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. I've never heard of anyone put it in a video game term before.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, because I grew to love it too, but no one put it in the highest score. So yeah, you are trying to beat your personal best, and every time it's different.
Exactly.
Awesome. Cool. Talk to me about your. Do you want to talk about your workout routine?
Sure. Yeah.
So what does your schedule look like? Spread that out.
I do push-pull legs mostly. So I'll do.
So it's a 3-day split.
Yes. Yeah.
So you only go to the gym 3 times a week.
No, so I'll do that over and over again, and I'll take one rest day in between. And the one thing that I change is on leg day, one cycle I'll do deadlifts, the next cycle I'll do squats. So I'll never do squats and deadlift within like the same 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Just because I think it's kind of damaging to my knees, mine specifically.
Okay.
I recently just got off of a cut cycle, so I dropped from, in January 1st I was 205. And then the last time I weighed in, maybe a month or so ago, I was at 155. So I dropped like 50 pounds within like 6 months or so. It was crazy. Yeah.
I want to cut the stream. Cut the stream. Cut the mic. No, that's what?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You were if I could say, I'm gonna say,
go for it.
You were a heftier gentleman. You were a heftier. I looked at you and one of your training partners, but we'll get into that in a second. But you guys were relatively thick. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But so when I saw this, I'm like, that's crazy. That's a crazy transformation. I would cue a picture, but we don't have one.
Well,
that's crazy.
You know we will.
I can get a picture. I can get a picture.
I'm gonna talk to my guys if we have a picture about it. But that's awesome.
They and I do our research. We got the photo already.
We got the research. Same people who told me about the pet hospital told me this. No. Which I was gonna lead into. Do you have pets yourself?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I used to have a cat. I lived with my mom. I recently moved in with my girlfriend and her sister, and they had a cat, so I just replaced it. And I have I don't want to say replace. You know,
what? I know what you. I got you. But that's so funny.
I missed the old one. But then I also have a bearded dragon.
Oh my god.
They're awesome.
Talk to me about their poop though. I heard that smells.
That's what I would have told you if you just asked me about them. If you were just like, tell me anything, I would have been like,
it's horrendous. It's horrendous, right?
Disgusting.
No, the smell is literally the most livid thing on planet Earth. Right?
Well, it depends on what they eat too. Like if I feed them bugs, the next time they poop, it's
death incarnate, right?
It's unreal. I light incense. I put on the diffuser. I spray stuff all over the place, and that doesn't even help.
Okay. Transitioning just a little bit from here, and then you got into nutrition, which is fantastic. What got you into what gave you the nickname Badstoned? What got you into fighting games? Talk to us about that story.
I got into fighting games because I was super into Dota, almost more than anything.
Wow, okay.
I played Dota like 8 hours a day, basically Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends. And my issue with that was just teammates. Like, if I'm playing with my 5-stack, great, I'm having so much fun. You know, it's amazing. But the second I have to pair with even one random or two randoms, or if I'm playing with a different friend group, you know, maybe they start, you know, blaming each other, this and that. I don't know, it just got kind of lame. I'm like, why can't you just only focus on yourself and improve yourself? Okay. And then I was like, okay, well, fighting games.
There you go, 1-on-1.
Yeah, like you have that in like, StarCraft. Like, what other 1v1?
Yeah,
or like exactly. Quake.
For MOBAs, yeah, I guess Quake, sure. Or competitively, yeah.
Any 1v1 competitive game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, fighting games are sick, but I don't know the first thing about them. So I downloaded Street Fighter 4. I think it was still Super. It was either Super or the first arcade edition. I told one of my friends, I was like, yo, we're getting good at Street Fighter together. He was like, I'm so down.
That's sweet. All it takes is one guy.
Yeah, pretty much. And all I wanted to do was beat him.
Yeah.
So he would always pick either Dudley or Ken. I was always either Ryu, Cody, or Balrog. And eventually my Cody just got so much better than his that, you know, he stopped playing entirely. So I'm like, okay, well, now I gotta figure something else out.
Yeah.
Right. And AVGL, I don't know if you've heard of that place.
I know that extremely well, yeah. I used to run it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me. Shoutouts to Victor Susky, who actually ran it, but I ran. So AVGL was doing Smash, yeah, and then they needed somebody for Street Fighter. That's when I kind of wanted to. Shoutouts to Lucky D, because I'm definitely name dropping him. That's when I first reached out to Lucky to see if he wanted to do anything, or Brawl Carter, or somebody that wanted to like help run that for Street Fighter, because I was Marvel and Smash. It was such a different world in the other place. So yeah, no, I love AVGL. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I loved it too. But I went there for one Dota tournament with a couple of friends, and you know, never went there again. But all of a sudden, since I liked them on Facebook, I see, you know, Beast Coast Street Fighter 4 tournament series. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go to this. Yeah. So I set a date. I was like, I'm going to this, no matter how nervous I was, which I was super nervous, of course. Oh, yeah? I didn't know anyone in the scene, so you know, when you're showing up alone, well, I guess it's kind of there's two sides to it. One, I was super nervous because I didn't know anyone there, but two, I thought I was definitely gonna do really well, because I was like, this game is so hard, and I'm kind of alright at it. So nobody else is that good. But I got destroyed. I got absolutely demolished.
Drop names.
Okay.
Here we go. So I think the juicy part of this stuff.
Well, honestly, you might be able to find the first tournament I ever went to. It might still be on the archives. It was last time I checked. But the first match I ever played was versus EPI. Jacob.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. And he picked random select. And I was like, is this how it is?
Oh, you bitch.
Yeah, I was like, this is what it's like. But I beat him. He got Zangief, and I beat him, I think, 2-1. And then my very next match was against maybe the worst person it could have been against, but also I was kind of amazed by it, but it was Mike Smith. So, yeah, my second match ever in the FGC against Mike Smith.
Oh, no.
I took the first game. Which is...
Maybe just play solid, yeah.
I don't know about that. I think he was surprised by what I was doing, and I scrubbed the game off of him. Then for 2 games straight, I got absolutely demolished. I don't remember.
Especially if it's your introduction too, and it's Mike Smith. You're like, man, I hate this scene.
Well, yes and no, because I didn't know what vortexing was. I thought he was just ridiculous. I was like, this is incredible. He must be like the best.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was kind of like a formula behind it. I mean, he's still really good. You know, he didn't need to be good to beat me at that point.
Mike Smith. Shout outs to Volcanic Akuma. Especially Street Fighter 4. He defeated Sanford Kelly in one of the tournaments too, and he's just an absolute monster. Yeah.
In every game he plays. Yeah. And like inexplicably, no matter what, even if he hates the game, like Street Fighter 5.
He's always an issue. There's never even if you win, you're like it's not decisive. You're always like, oh my god.
And every time you do beat him, there's that little like.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, because you're like, yeah, he's good. So you're like, yeah.
You're restoring order so that he doesn't win 3 games in one night again, you know?
Mike Smith, shout out.
Yeah, but So that was my first tournament. And then from there, everybody was obviously, like, the coolest. Like, I absolutely love this scene, everybody in it. Dan immediately was like, oh, hey, man, like, your Cody's really good, even though it wasn't, you know, he's just...
No, but he just wanted to, yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And then Zap was like, oh, yeah, you know, anytime you can come over to my house, I'll teach you this, I'll teach you that. I met AJ, I met Joel, I don't know if you know him, at Last Dragon, I think his name was.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like the nicest person I've ever met still.
That's really old school, though. I feel like he doesn't play...
He doesn't play anymore.
No, yeah.
No, he was a Street Fighter 4 guy player.
And then you were there for, like, Remy Blue and...
A little bit.
Okay.
I think he came to the very last tournament, the $2,000 one, or...
Yeah. Yeah, because he was playing Yun, the Yun player.
Did I beat him that tournament?
Talk to me a little... It seems like you're going down memory lane here.
I
Talk
might
to me a
have
little bit
beaten
about
him in that tournament.
That's nuts. Talk to
I
me
think I
about that.
fucked up the whole bracket because I just started playing Elena and he was playing Yun, and I think I beat him.
I just want to cut the video on Elena.
I
Anyway.
literally just demolished the bracket. Everybody was like, "What happens now?" Like,
Were you the one who showed New England Elena? I remember at the beginning nobody really cared.
Maybe I did start playing her like before I knew, like before like the whole, you know, healing.
Sick.
And all that. I played V-Trigger, Ultra One.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know
she
healing
did the
was
slide one. Did she have like
it's like a knee
Okay.
forward.
Yeah.
I hope they put her in 5 though. I think she's a cool character. You know?
I think she changes things a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you have to play differently.
Nothing changes me, like 15 frame overhead and the full combo.
Yeah, it's a fun combo.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Crush like it, crush like it.
that's all you need.
And that EX kick was actually super fast too.
The overhead.
Yeah, that was really hard to react to. I remember that being like, she could do like short into that overhead, and you're like, oh my god.
That, and she could do the break dance, which was lows. It would be 2, 3, or 4 lows in a row, and she could FADC any of that. Yeah, she was busted. Oh my god, she was busted.
That's awesome.
And then she actually had a normal overhead you could combo off. Anyways.
So that okay. No, I'm loving it because this is all actually scrapping a lot of this, which leads me to, was Street Fighter 4 your favorite game?
My favorite game
Fighting game.
ever. Favorite fighting game? Definitely not.
What is your favorite fighting game?
It changes.
Yeah.
If you asked me 2 years ago, it would have been Street Fighter 5. If you asked me, you know, maybe, I don't know. It's changed from Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and now Dragon Ball.
No. Oh, you're playing Dragon Ball, huh?
A lot of Dragon Ball.
What do you think of it?
I think it's the best fighter. Hands down, I think it's the best fighter.
Did you watch anime like that? Were you a fan of Dragon Ball Z before going into it?
No. I tried to watch Dragon Ball Kai.
Oh, no.
Is it not good?
I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, but I like the original stuff. You know what I mean? Like so I can't watch. I like the delay and how long it takes for things. People usually complain about like, oh my god, this episode takes forever. I like that stuff.
It's build up.
Yeah.
I get that, and I'm sure Kai kind of destroys the pacing, but at the same time, asking someone who's already an adult to watch all of Dragon Ball is like, it's a lot.
I'm trying to have, it's terrible.
Yeah, okay, it's okay, is that personal?
I'm like, it's fine, you did a little bit of damage.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
No, moving on. Cody Balrog in Street Fighter 4. Now,
well, I didn't actually play Balrog in 4. It was just against my noob friend.
Oh.
I played Cody, I played Elena, and a little bit of DiCaprio, but I wasn't good enough to, you know.
Why Badstoned?
Do you know like what Badstoned is?
No.
Oh, that's Cody's projectile. In 4.
Oh, the name of it? I thought
It's Badstoned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was going to be a deeper story. Okay, I just call it The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, I didn't know.
But then, so the D at the end, it's like obviously a play on stoned.
Yeah, you got Badstoned.
But then you also got bad stoned, but I'm bad when,
The double entendre.
A double entendre.
The
exactly.
double entendre.
But I just think it
Ladies and
sounds cool.
The
too.
double entendre.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter 5, you already start out Balrog though. Street Fighter 5 Season 2.
Yes.
You're Balrog. What do you play Season 1?
Nash.
Nash Season 1.
Nash. In Street Fighter 5, I always picked what everybody thought was top 2 in the game every single season, and then they got nerfed to oblivion and nobody cares about them anymore. Because it was Nash, Balrog. I guess Abigail's good now, but there was definitely a period.
No, there's a
where
period.
they destroyed
Oh, he
him.
was here? Yes, absolutely. He
Yeah.
was killing it.
And then Manat. And now nobody cares about Manat either, so.
You are like that. Oh my god, that is who you are.
It's
I'm
crazy.
so upset.
I mean,
That is who you are. And then now you play G.
That's classic
Leave.
advice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is who you are.
Well,
Wow, that's cool though. That's
Yeah.
different from the previous interview though. Is there or do you do that on purpose? Is that
Minot and G 100% on purpose. I was like, I'm tired of playing these trash ass characters. I'm gonna pick who I think is the best in the game. Minot I thought was definitely the best in the game.
for a while? Yeah.
And then G I think is just stupid. But he's boring. I don't have fun with G anymore. I haven't been playing him
He
much.
became boring though. But at the beginning, like but he did the job. So
That's all he does. He's like an accountant, dude. He just you pick an option. Did it work? Yes, I do this. There's no creativity.
y'all can laugh. It's fine. We can get this on the mic. If you have someone to laugh at the accountant, yeah, that's.
Do you want him in the White House, though?
That
Run the country
No.
like a business?
you want to
I
run?
don't want G anywhere near the White House. Just sweeping decisions.
I think he's fantastic.
You like G?
I don't like. I think he's great.
Oh, he's.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I think he's. I think there was a time we were playing casuals, and I just started laughing at certain things. I was losing. I remember being like, "Oh well."
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess that's the thing.
Yeah, that work. His range is ridiculous.
Everything about him.
He's pretty. Yeah, EX dash low into V trigger, and you have to guess.
And the frame data is actually perfect for a mix-up too.
Yeah, it's just enough.
It's
Just enough.
Just enough for him to command grab, just enough for him to slight walk forward, stand medium
Do
punch.
it again.
And then
low.
each time you're right next to him and he's plus, he has like 2 or 3 mix-ups that you have to sit through.
Yeah.
And they're straight 50-50s. I mean, you can delay jump out. That's what a lot of players say that they do, which makes sense. But
He could chase it though too.
he can chase it,
jump
and then
out.
you're not blocking for a certain amount of time. So it's like,
His
you know.
projectile's good.
If
His
the man
projectile's
does-
real.
If he does regular throw, he'll anti-air you with back fierce. into
Exactly.
death.
This is.
so
oh
if you're
my
in
God.
the corner, you're just screwed.
Stand medium kick is the combo party starter. Back fierce is party starter. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's great. The buffer stand short.
Oh my god. Stand short,
Buffer.
crouch jab, stand jab. All of his buttons are so good. He's just ridiculous. And that's like, I played him because I was like, okay, well, I feel like G is kind of the crazy person character. You just play him, you do nuts stuff, and then sometimes it works. But I'm going to play him like footsie oriented. But it doesn't matter because you win footsies once and then you are that crazy mix-up person no matter what.
You win. Yeah. He plays this game well. He
Yeah.
plays Street Fighter 5, right? Like he plays.
I think he is everything that's wrong with Street Fighter 5.
G
Buddy.
trigger.
G trigger. That yeah. Shout outs to Matt. It's G. He plays the game solid. What would you say is your best fighter?
Like that I'm the best at?
Yeah.
Street Fighter, probably still.
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 4, I don't remember how to play, so.
Which brings me to just a couple fun questions before we actually get into the future of Billy. But rather, okay, really quick, if you could have any character in Street Fighter 5, who would it be? That's not currently there, besides Elena.
It's a monkey paw, right? Because like I was like, if Cody makes it into this game, I literally like shed a tear when Cody was revealed. 100%.
boy.
I was so excited and happy, and I hate him in this game. I absolutely hate him. I wish they didn't add him. I wish they saved him for Street Fighter 6. But Elena's my answer. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Do you feel like there's a bracket demon? Is there anybody that you go up against in bracket that you're like, oh my god, this guy?
Not a demon. I think there's, well, yeah, not a demon. There's just top players who I'm not on the level of.
Okay.
So if I fight Burkish, I beat Burkish once,
Okay.
but it was with Abigail when he like first released, and he didn't know what he was doing. So I don't even really count that.
Yeah.
Zaf is always really hard to beat. I've beaten him a handful of times. And then I think for the most part, Andre has my number, especially if he plays Urian.
That's a good segue right there. You usually train. You say having another training partner is really good in
Yeah.
terms of like growth. It doesn't need to be a giant community. It could just be one person. Talk to me a little bit about that. Like, are you and Andre like pretty much static training partners in terms of learning new abilities, growing stronger and stuff?
Yeah. We play a lot. Whether it's, we played Grand Blue together, DVFZ, and Street Fighter, and we play a lot, and we talk about how to get better and all this and that, obviously, which I think it's good because even though we're really only developing the meta between me and him, I think we're still getting way better at system mechanics as well, if that makes sense.
No, of course. As long as you're trying to also outdo each other, like, helps you guys grow.
Yeah, well, it's all about playing to get better and not playing to win.
Okay.
But especially when you're fighting the same person in a really long set. Because if you're just playing to win, it's going to get wacky.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get better at the game, that's way better. I never keep score of, sets. We just play.
There you go. Perfect. So, what is your favorite attribute of a fighting game? Whether it be like footsies, whether it be is it story, character design? What is it about the fighting game itself? Is it projectiles? Like, what is it about a fighting game that's your favorite attribute?
That's a good question. I think I like things to be reactable. Like, even though I think my reactions are pretty average, like they're about as middle of the road as they can get, I like the ability to react. So, like, I don't like the idea of, unguessable mix-ups, unseeable mix-ups where you just absolutely have to guess it's just a 50-50, which is another reason I hate G. I like being able to see what's happening on the screen and react rather than having a pre-canned game plan that I just...
Alright, so attacking 2020 a little bit, or new games in general.
GBVS is reactable.
New game, with the exception of Grand Blue, new games have nerfed reaction time, right? Because everything is pretty much almost fully planned out. I was literally talking with Matt and Dom about it earlier, where it's like, you have to commit to something all the time.
Yep.
And that coming from like Melee or like older games as well too, I love being able to like put the brakes and change my decision last minute.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't do that anymore. And that kills me.
That was the hardest thing I had to learn with Street Fighter V, especially with the 8 frames of lag. Like when it was Street Fighter V Season 1, I would play with top level players around mass, and they would be like, just do stuff, just play fast, always make a decision, do this, don't think, just do, and then adjust accordingly, which it's fun, but not for that long.
After a while you're like, no, because you'll also look stupid if you pick a decision. This game makes you feel dumb. It makes you feel dumb because no one can call you for doing a jump in or something. Like, oh, you jumped in, you got anti-aired. Okay, but I'm not stupid for jumping in.
No. The risk reward is so in your favor against most characters.
Yeah. So it's not, you're not, also like, if they made the decision to anti-air, they've been made that decision to anti. Does that make sense? Like,
you watch pro players not anti-air all the time. They block jump-ins.
Yeah, because they weren't looking for it. They have to have already been looking for it. That's where I think we're connecting there.
Yeah.
The mental stack.
I was looking for a dash in, which you jumped, so I'm blocking.
I think mental RAM, it exists in fighting games that you can also react to everything in. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, even if we can just stick with Street Fighter 4, like in Street Fighter 4, there were people that you couldn't jump on, and they weren't necessarily always thinking about it. Maybe a little bit, but but you could still, for instance, bait them into doing something which then allowed you to jump, like a fireball or maybe a laggy button. There was always an option to do what you wanted. It wasn't just like, oh, maybe he's not thinking about it now, I'm going to jump. Yeah. It was much more calculated, or at least it felt that way.
Okay, cool. Yeah. There we go. I definitely, if we ever do one with me, I want to put reactions as mine. Yeah. Because I'm like, I love, Marvel 3, shoutouts to Marvel 3, that game should just be called canceling. Because you could cancel everything. You could do like normal into special, into super, X Factor, button, cancel it, super. Yeah. DHC, super. It's you could cancel every decision. It's a very, very limited times are you like fully committing. Right. And even then there's always that like X Factor. Or there's something that can get you out of trying. And there's like last second blocks like that you can make. I love that. I love being able to change my decision.
that's what I like about Dragon Ball right now, actually, is it's just so nuanced. And, like, I was explaining to someone how I like how Dragon Ball handles jump-ins, where if you hit 2H, basically, they're all air invincible.
Yeah.
So if someone just jumps in on you and you 2H, you're gonna hit them.
Anti-air them, yeah.
But then they can chicken block, where they just jump at you and just hold block. They can jump at you and then delay using super dash, but then like all of these different options start to come in.
2H, yeah.
Yeah. And like once I just think of all the counterplay to that, and it literally just keeps going and going.
I feel like
you
would have liked Marvel 3.
I think so. I think I would have liked Marvel Infinite too, if I gave it a real shot.
Yeah.
I think Marvel Infinite's a sick game.
All right, it's your interview. So
I
say whatever you want. Look, you do. This is your interview, absolutely. As long as you're sitting there, Marvel Infinite's a good game. As long as you're sitting there. Cool. That's awesome. Moving on to the future of Billy. What do you plan on doing in terms of the FGC in New England? What do you plan on doing in terms of your life? So we'll go into the fighting game side of you. What are your goals here?
So my goal when I first got into fighting games was just to win a local.
Okay.
And I've won locals, so as far as I'm concerned, I don't really have more goals.
Okay.
I want to be as strong as I can be, and I want to just have fun with it.
Sound like me. Damn, alright, cool.
You can... It seems kind of sad to not be like, oh, I want to be the best, because at one point I did. But now I don't know. I don't care too much.
Okay.
I just want to be good. I want to be a threat.
Alright, you want to be strong.
Yeah.
You feel like you know what you're doing all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, because I live for those moments in fighting games where, you kind of just zone out and you're just, I don't know. It's like everybody always says, like, fighting games are like a conversation between two people.
Yeah.
When you get really deep into that and you're just not even, like, really conscious, you're just so in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that. I just want to do that more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, damn. What about the future for you outside of GC?
Well, like I said, I'm going to school to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So that's mainly what I'm focusing on right now. I got a job at the Y in Quincy.
In Quincy, the one over here?
Yeah.
Going in, man.
Well, right now I'm furloughed because all this stuff, but I still have a free membership, so I think I still work there technically. yeah, exactly. So hopefully I'll put the same kind of how do I put this? Like work ethic, I guess, that I learned from fighting games into being a personal trainer. Just always constant improvement, and hopefully just be a dope personal trainer.
There you go.
I mean, that's basically it.
That's a really interesting order of operations, though.
What do you mean?
Take the personal grind that you learned from fighting games and apply it to becoming a personal trainer.
That needs to be like the title. That's like a highlight right there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Billy. That was pretty much everything. Your boy Badstoned. Is there anything you want to leave off with? Anything you want to say? How can people find you?
Just Badstoned on everything.
Badstoned on everything.
Twitter,
Twitch.
all that. Twitch too.
You do. Yeah, you're on there.
I was. Rip Little Pond. But no, I think Casa's basically taken over the online.
Shoutouts to Casa.
Yeah,
shoutouts to previous Little Pond if that ever comes back.
Probably not, but but I don't know. We'll see.
Thank you, man, so much for joining us. All right, have a great day, bud.
Thanks, man.
All right, cool.
Great.
Good. We're good.
Dude, I love learning about people.